Welcome to the podcast that will teach you how to successfully invest in and build steady streams of passive income from the highly lucrative niche of mobile home park investing. Veteran real estate investors Kevin Bupp and Charles Dehart from Mobile Home Park Academy will personally share with you the valuable lessons they've learned along their journey as mobile home park investors, so that you too can learn how to build massive cash flow and huge profits from this extremely lucrative niche. So without further ado, let's welcome your hosts for today's show, Kevin Bupp and Charles Dehart.
Welcome, guys and gals, to the Mobile Home Park Academy's weekly podcast. We'll provide all the information that you need to know to successfully locate, negotiate, close on, and make huge profits from the lucrative niche of mobile home park investing. I'm your host, Kevin Bupp, and in today's show, we're going to be talking with the owner and president of Premier Waste Group, Djuric. Prior to joining Premier, Ian owned and operated 2 trash and recycling hauling companies and consulted for waste management and Republic Services. Premier prides themselves in bringing the most cost-effective, sustainable waste and recycling solutions to your business. Ian has more than 14 years of industry experience and has sold and managed more than 50,000 customers in waste and recycling businesses. And you might be wondering, what does that mean to me as a park owner if you're looking to buy a mobile home park, your first park, okay? Well, I actually met Ian a few weeks back at an industry event up in Atlanta, and his pitch to me was quite intriguing. He essentially said, I'll save you at least 20% on your annual waste collection bill, guaranteed. And for those who own mobile home parks or multifamily or any other type of commercial real estate, or even residential real estate, then you'll know that garbage is a significant line item in the profit and loss. In fact, I took Ian up on his offer. It was perfect timing for us. I asked that he provide a proposal on 2 Maryland parks that we were acquiring at that time, which we've since closed on. And the end result was nothing more than spectacular. That's the only way I can put it. Not only did Ian save us a ton of money, it was actually a little bit more. I don't have the exact number, but it was a little bit more than $5,000 annually between the 2 parks. But he was also able to get brand new toters, or what we know as garbage cans, for both of these communities. Now, the new garbage cans, it actually adds a cosmetic improvement because prior to this, each one of these tenants, they had, different trash cans. Some of them are gross and falling apart, ugly. Now we've got consistency throughout both these communities. We've got these brand new, nice, shiny toters that all look the same, all the same color, and it adds a lot of value just from an aesthetic standpoint, value to the community. So I just want to do some simple math real quick to kind of share with you the value that Ian and his company can bring to your business. I really am excited about it. It's funny, excited to talk about trash today, but I really am. These parks in Maryland, remember, he saved us over $5,000 annually between these 2 parks. So these parks in Maryland, in this market, if we decided we wanted to sell them today, they would probably trade somewhere like an 8 cap, somewhere around there, maybe even slightly less than an 8 cap. But the savings of $5,000 per year, that adds about $62,500 of value if we traded at an 8 cap, okay? Now, that's real money. That is real money if we were to exit out, and it's also real money on an annual basis as far as savings is concerned. And so the best part is we didn't pay Ian a dime for his services, okay? I mean, it's absolutely free for the owner of a property to work with Ian and his group. Now, I'm not going to spoil all this fun for you guys. You're just going to have to listen in to get the entire scoop on Ian and his group and how they can add value to your business. Before we get on to the show with Ian, I've got a few updates I want to run through. Now, I did mention about those 2 Maryland parks. So we actually just closed on those just about 2 weeks ago. There were 2 mobile home parks totaling 185 lots in Salisbury, Maryland. And we actually released, if you haven't watched it already, it was actually 2 episodes ago, we released a video drive-through podcast. The first time we've done a video podcast, but we actually did, it was me, I did a drive-through one of the communities and actually walked through in detail the step-by-step process that we went through to purchase it and how we're going to maximize the value of that particular community. And probably one of the coolest things the coolest part of these 2 most recent acquisitions is that we got bank financing to purchase them, and the bank ordered a third-party appraisal. And on these 2 communities, that third-party appraisal came in at nearly $1 million higher than what we just paid for them, and we haven't even really done anything to them yet, right? So we've got a next couple of years we'll be adding a ton of value, bringing in some homes, but we bought these things at a great value. Just very exciting. We're just real excited about it all together. I love that marketplace, and so if you haven't done so already, if you haven't watched that show, be sure to go check it out. It's 10 minutes long. It's really short, but you'll get a lot of value from it. And that kind of leads me on to my next point. My team and I here at Sunrise Capital Investors, that's our investment arm of our business. We're looking for other individuals like yourself that are accredited investors that have an interest in partnering with us on deals just like the one in Maryland. We currently have a handful of other parks in contract, and we're always seeking accredited investors who are interested in partnering with us, putting their hard-earned money to work. And what we feel is one of the most proven asset classes known to man, mobile home parks. So you can learn more about our opportunity and our company and everything about that, what we're doing by going to sunrisecapitalinvestors.com. You can even gain access to our private placement memorandum. We've got a very secure investment portal that you can sign up for and access all of our investment documents. Okay, again, sunrisecapitalinvestors.com. Lastly, guys, if you happen to be in the Tampa Bay area, I'd love the opportunity to meet with you in person. If you're here visiting for business, pleasure, whatever it might be, I'm over in the Clearwater area, only about 20 or 30 minutes from the Tampa Bay airport. You can reach out to me directly, kevin@kevinbupp.com. That is my personal email address. You can reach me there and let me know when you're coming, and we'll try to coordinate our time together. Okay, so now, without further ado, I'd like to welcome Ian Djuric to the show. Ian, how you doing today, bud?
Doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for joining us. So, it's funny. It's just I get a little giggle every time I say this, but I've been looking forward to talking with you and bringing you on the show to talk about trash, right? It's kind of a funny topic of discussion, but it's a very important one, and it's one that you just recently saved us a ton of money on, and that makes me really excited when we get to shave off thousands of dollars from our profit and loss. From the loss side of our profit and loss statement, and that's real money to me. And so we were very ecstatic about the first interaction we had with your company. So I thought it'd be great to bring you on the show and talk to you a little bit more about who you are, what you do, and how you work with other business owners in the real estate niche. And I know it's not just mobile home parks. I mean, you guys work with apartment operators and other commercial real estate operators as well. So before we dive into all the details, all the nitty and gritty, maybe if you would just take a few minutes, Ian, and just tell us a little bit more about your background in the waste business.
Sure. I started off selling trash service door-to-door in Chicago about 18 years ago.
Okay.
The great sort of intro to the area. I learned everything from the ground up. And then I started 2 actual trash recycling hauling companies. So we had all the trucks. We did residential, commercial, industrial, roll-off, pretty much anything you could do. We had about 100 trucks running every single day. So from getting up at 2 a.m. with all the trucks to closing them out at 8 p.m., I know everything about the trash industry and exactly what it costs to pick up an apartment complex, a mobile home park. I can break it down to the penny for you.
Got it. Okay, go ahead.
So I got kind of tired of getting up at 3 a.m. with the trucks. Wasn't my thing. But I love sales and customer service. Mm-hmm. So we said, hey, let's reach out to all these big community owners or just people that have one community and say, hey, we know what you should be paying because we actually know what it costs from doing it ourselves. Let us help you out and get a better price. So we started Premier Waste Group in 2011. We've been rocking and rolling ever since.
Okay, that's really exciting. So I want to back up for a second here, and I want to talk about, you'd mentioned like you got your start by selling trash and recycling services door to door. What does that mean? Does that mean like business to business? You were basically going door to door for another company, trying to essentially get them to change their service provider?
For example, yeah, I worked for Waste Management and Republic Services, the 2 big national companies. Selling mobile home parks, apartment complexes, HOAs, you name it.
Got it. Okay. And then you saw that there was then you went and started your own thing after that, and then you realized that you just didn't really like working 20-hour days, and so decided to exit out and then start Premier. So I really want to understand. Well, I didn't understand. Actually, it sounded too good to be true. Okay, when I first met you, like your pitch, it's very intriguing. Basically, it doesn't cost us anything being park owners to utilize your services, but yet you can save us tons of money. Really, I mean, literally tons of money. We saved just a lot of money with you in those 2 Maryland deals. I know we're giving you our other communities to get proposals on as we speak. And so talk to me a little bit how your business actually works. I mean, what leverage do you guys have to go and negotiate on a park owner's behalf to get them a better deal than what they're currently paying now? How does that work?
Sure. So the first thing we do is we have the customer sign a letter of authorization. it lets us sort of talk to your current hauler and other haulers about your situation on your behalf. Because when we talk to Waste Management Republic, they're not going to take our word for it. So we send out our LOA. We'll pull a copy of your current contract, if you have a current one, and we'll take a look at it, see if there's a way out of it, see how long you have left. And we'll do one of two things. If you don't have a contract, we'll go ahead and bid out your services, and we'll negotiate very aggressively on your behalf and get you guys the best possible price that we can. Or two, if you're in a contract, we're usually able to renegotiate that contract or get you out of it into a brand new one. Mainly because, for example, say you have 2 years left in your contract. We'll reach out to your current hauler and say, hey, we're Premier Waste, we represent this mobile home park, and they all know who we are. And they know that if they don't renegotiate it or don't strike some kind of deal with us, at the end of that 2-year mark, they'll never get that business again. So they want to keep that business. They don't want to lose it. So they're very eager and very willing to work with us because we give them a fair deal, so we know what it costs. So we give them more like a 5 to 10% margin versus the 30 or 40% margin they currently have on your park.
So you're like the kryptonite to them. Like, oh gosh, is that Ian calling again? Oh, he's going to beat us up, isn't he? So
it's not so much as beating you up, but just getting you a realistic and fair price.
Yeah, fair enough. So what happens as far as, so like your leverage is 2 service providers, 1 market. They're currently with 1. The leverage is, hey, if you don't work with us and give us a fair deal, we're just going to go to the next guy and he's willing to work with us. I mean, what happens in some smaller markets? I'm assuming there probably are markets in the U.S. where there's only 1 waste provider. Is that an accurate statement?
Not usually. There's usually always 3.
Oh, really?
If you're in the middle of nowhere, then that's potential. But we've never actually run into it where there's just 1. Okay.
Well, then I was wrong there. I figured there would be maybe some smaller markets. You start getting into like the Midwest, lots of smaller towns, things like that. But okay. Well, so you always have leverage, and you always got leverage with the next guy, whoever the other hauler is, or the 2 other haulers in that marketplace. So, very, very interesting. Have there ever been a situation where you haven't been able to save a client money? I mean, and if so, what have been some of those situations when it just doesn't work out?
Sure. It's definitely happened. Sometimes, as a park owner, you'll reach out, give us your letter of authorization, and we'll reach back out and say, hey, you have the best price I've seen in this market. You're doing great. Just stay where you're at. You don't need me. And there's nothing wrong in hearing that.
Mm-hmm. And how do you make money? How does Premier make money?
Sure. One of 2 ways. Most of the haulers, we make it through them. They give us a small percentage kickback on every deal that we either keep with them or bring to them. So we're based on volume. So the more volume we add, the more money we make. So we'll drive your price down as far as we can. I make the same money per deal, regardless of your price level. So it's in my best interest to keep your price as low as I can and to keep you for as long as I can. Mm-hmm. That way we make our money.
Got it. And so assuming that that we're working with you, which we are, and let's say that I'm just going to give you a hypothetical situation here. You just helped us secure a new 2-year contract, saved us a ton of money. Is that something where you'll go in come the 2-year mark or prior to the 2-year mark, and you'll go back in and reshop that pricing to make sure that we're getting the best deal possible? I mean, is that typically how it works?
That's exactly how we operate. Okay. We always look for the best deal for you, either every year or every 2 years. The biggest benefit to our company, I believe, besides price, is that you're never stuck in a contract with a hauling company. So a lot of smaller park owners or first-time operators, they get their first waste contract, and they just sign the paperwork because it's the trash contract, we sign it. But they don't realize that it's a 5-year contract and that they can increase your price up to 75% over that 5-year term. Mm-hmm. So your sweet deal turned into a nightmare for you. So the big benefit of us is we'll instantly get you out of that contract and ensure that you're never stuck with anybody ever. So that way, if somebody new comes in and says, hey, I want to do it for $8 a unit instead of the $11 that you're currently paying, I could instantly save you $300 a month or $3,600 a year on a 100-pad site.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. And so with getting a client out of a contract, so those that are listening out there, if they think, oh gosh, well I might as well not even call Ian because I've got a year and a half left of my contract. That's inaccurate. I mean, like you can actually help them get out of their existing contract. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. We usually will either renegotiate it, or I think this year we've bought probably about 80 people out of their contracts.
Wow.
And put you into somebody else.
Okay. So
we do pretty well on the backside, so it allows us to help you guys and sometimes buy you out if we need to.
Okay. And you mentioned that your company's based on volume. So who is your ideal client? I mean, what's the size of your ideal client, and what's the smallest client as far as, and we can speak mobile home parks as far as lot size, or we can just speak in generalities as far as the ideal client, and is there a certain size that's too small? Ideally, the larger, the better, I'm assuming, right?
Don't get me wrong. I want the guy that has 500 mobile home parks, but at the same time,
Sure.
we have countless customers that have one mobile home park.
Okay.
So there's no problem. And if you have one park, 3 parks, a lot of our best customers are people that we've met that have had 1 or 2 parks, and we've created more of a strategic partnership with them, and then we've built and grown with them. So now they have 8, 10, 14 parks, and we've helped them save money the entire length of the way. So there's no problem starting with us when you have one, or if you're looking to get your first one. We're more than happy to help you out there.
Okay. And how about other types of real estate other than mobile home parks? Are you guys in the other asset types, apartment buildings and shopping centers and office buildings and things like that, or is this specifically for mobile home park investors?
No, we do absolutely anybody. If you know the company Under Armour, we do every Under Armour location in the U.S.
Wow.
Okay. We do all the ShopRite grocery stores in the U.S. You name it, we do it. We just have a very nice vertical market with the MHP industry. We do very well there, and it's a nice market for us.
Okay. What else do we need to know about your services and what you guys do that I haven't asked you?
Trying to think. I mean, you've done a great job in encompassing more of our overall strategy. Our value really breaks down to 2 main things, and it's 1, saving you money, which is cash in your pocket, and 2, not being stuck in a contract. Because when you're stuck in a contract with Waste Management Republic, one of the big national guys, they're going to keep price jacking you up every year consistently, or if they have bad service, they're going to try and hold you to that contract anyways. So being able to be free, have the best service provider at the best price is really what we bring to the table. We do a very good job of that. Okay. Especially since we do it for free.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I mean, you really don't have anything to lose. I mean, of giving Ian giving him a property that you currently own or one that you're buying and letting him go ahead and put together a proposal on it. That was my thinking with our 2 properties in Maryland. Say, hey, we're about to close on these. Take a look at this, and can you save us money? And I was blown away. I mean, I didn't really have any expectations, Ian. So this is me speaking honestly to you. I had no expectations whatsoever. I'd said, hey, if he can, he can, and if he can, he can't. Oh well, we're still buying these because we like how the numbers look in their existing state. But when you came back and gave us a new proposal, and we see that we're saving a significant amount of money on a yearly basis, which is real money. I mean, we're not just talking like $20. We're talking thousands of dollars. It's significant. It gets me really, really excited. So, as far as getting in contact with your group, those that are out there, whether they don't own a park yet or they're buying one soon, or any other types of real estate, is it just a matter of giving you a call or contacting you through your website? Like, what is the best way to basically start utilizing your services, or at least get working with you to build a proposal?
Sure. You can always reach out via phone, but the best way to get a hold of us is via email. My email's ian@premierwastegroup.com. You send us a quick email, tell us what you have, what you're looking to do. We'll respond right back and walk you through our process and how we can help you save money. Okay.
And then one other thing I failed to mention is, in addition to just regular garbage and recycling, you guys also handle like roll-offs, like construction roll-off dumpsters, correct?
Yes, that's a very big part of what we do.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, no, that is important. I mean, one of the Maryland parks that we just purchased, we've got a number of park-owned home renovations that we're doing, and it's funny because I almost forgot that you had mentioned that, and I almost literally called and got a roll-off from one of the third-party companies in that market, and I said, hold on, let me shoot Ian a message real quick and see if roll-offs is something that he'll handle as well. And I literally shot him a message, an email, and the next day he had a roll-off delivered and saved us money on it. So great service. I mean, you're really responsive, Ian. I mean, we're a brand new customer, and I've been very impressed with how responsive you've been and the overall savings altogether. So, I mean, win-win on all sides. So, really appreciate everything you do. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave with our listener base, our audience here today regarding your company, what it is you guys do before we say goodbye?
The only thing I'd add is if you are looking to buy your first mobile home park, once you get into the due diligence phase, you're going to see a copy of the trash bill, or at least see what you're paying a year. Give us a call or an email during that process, and we can go ahead and let you know ahead of time what savings we could provide you. That way you know ahead of time, hey, you can save me $2,000, $5,000, $7,000 a year on this property, so that way your P&L statement's going to look better already. And you can know that ahead of time before you buy the park. Okay,
fantastic. Well, good deal, Ian. Really appreciate having you on the show. And guys, that's all we have for today's episode. But before we say goodbye, I just want to remind you of the free gift that we offer every single listener who takes the time to go over to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating and review. We will give you the exact cold call script that we use in our very own business, and we've used this cold call script to literally for the last 4 or 5 years, and we also use it to purchase parks, the parks that we own today, and we're continually utilizing it in our business. So if you want a copy of that cold call script, just go ahead and leave that review on iTunes, 5-star, again, on iTunes. And what you'll need to do to redeem that free gift from us is, after you submit that review, go ahead and send us an email to gift@mobilehomeparkacademy.com. Just tell us who you are and what screen name that you use to leave that review, and we'll go ahead and shoot out an attachment with that cold call script, okay? So also be sure to stop by the Mobile Home Park Academy website at mobilehomeparkacademy.com. You can listen to all the previous podcast shows. I think we're up to 81 episodes now today, so you can listen to all those previous episodes. You can also download a free copy of our popular ebook, which is the 21 biggest mistakes investors make when purchasing their first mobile home park and how to avoid them. This is definitely a required read. It's a short read. It's very easy, but it's very concise, and it should help you avoid some of the common mistakes that new investors make when they're getting into this niche. So, Ian, absolute pleasure. Thank you again for being on the show, and you have a wonderful week, my friend.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Congratulations for taking the necessary steps to achieving massive success through the highly lucrative niche of mobile home park investing. Be sure to visit our website, mobilehomeparkacademy.com, to download your free digital ebook version of the 21 biggest mistakes investors make when buying their first mobile home park, and how you can avoid them. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe to our free monthly mobile home park investing newsletter, which is jammed full of valuable tips, tricks, and strategies to help you accelerate your path to success as a mobile home park investor. More information about this podcast and its hosts can be found by visiting mobilehomeparkacademy.com.